What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new video. We are back with another super realistic rebuild, as we have like 3 of these teams left to do, and after that we're completely done with the super realistic rebuild series. So here we are with the Utah Jazz. Before I get in this video, like usual, guys, go ahead, if you could, leave a like, subscribe if you have not already. Only takes 2 seconds of your time and it's greatly appreciated. And I've also been doing some Madden rebuilds, and if you're interested in that, interested in football, Madden, links in the description below. But as we all know, the Utah Jazz are back to their regular season things, where they're really good in the regular season, but once they get into the postseason, we start to wonder what this team can really do. So my job today is to try to make this team as good as possible for the championship, obviously, because this team, year in and year out, for like the last 3 or 4 seasons, has been competitive. They've been trying to win championships, and overall they've had a good regular season pretty much every year. It's just a matter of once they get in the postseason, they've only gotten to the second round and then basically got eliminated. So whether it was blowing a 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets in the bubble or losing to the Clippers last year in the second round, I believe it was, Utah Jazz just haven't been able to get over the hump. So basically what we're trying to do today is find a way to get Utah over the hump. So I'm not really sure how we're going to do that, but for this first season, like usual, we really don't do much. We usually just sit back, relax, and watch what happens. So sometimes, though, Utah Jazz can potentially win a championship in the first season. It happens at times. So sometimes 2K Simulation loves Utah, and they'll go on to win the championship in the first season. But will it love me that much today is the question. Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Rudy Gay, Rudy Gobert, and then Jordan Clarkson, Hassan Whiteside, and Royce O'Neal, and Eric Paschall. So for this first season, like I said, we're not going to do anything. We're going to sit back, watch what Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert can do, and see if this team can go on all the way and win a championship in this very first season. Probably won't happen, but we'll at least come somewhat close. We'll have a good regular season no matter what, I imagine. But we'll have to try to get this team to be that championship team they want to be. Additionally, today's video is sponsored by Prize Picks, which is a DFS player props app that's matching up to a $100 deposit when you use my code Crushables. Let me show you. Prize Picks is a DFS app where you're literally facing no one other than the numbers. You're just facing the projections. Let me show you some of my past entries. So on this one, I decided to do a power play where I decided to bet the over on Rudy Gobert and Harrison Barnes. The power play was able to 3 times my money, and Rudy Gobert and Harrison Barnes were both able to hit, which mounted me to $150. On this one, I did a flex play with LaMelo, Fred VanVleet, Joe Harrison, Gordon Hayward. Unfortunately, Joe Harris was only like 3 points off. If he literally hit one of his threes, I would have walked away with $100. So unfortunate, but that's just what happens. But I didn't walk away with nothing, as I was still able to win $32 after only betting 21. So I didn't walk away with nothing. So you can decide whether or not you want to do flex plays or power plays. Feel free to use my link in the description. Of course, you can always ask me on Twitter if you have any questions, and use my code Crushables when you sign up. So season comes to an end, and just like the Utah Jazz are in real life, we finish up as the 3rd seed in the West. MVP goes to Stephen Curry. Mobile Easy Rookie of the Year, Drummond's your 6th man, Giannis Defensive Player, Drew Eubanks Most Improved, and Steve Kerr's Coach of the Year. Alexander Panel is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, and All-NBA third team. So again, great regular season. We are the 3rd seed in the Western Conference, going up against the Phoenix Suns, a team that made it all the way to the finals last year. Donovan Mitchell led the way with 27 points per game. Clarkson was a great 6-man for this team. Mike Conley was 16. 13 from Bojan Bogdanovic, and then we had 12 from Rudy Gay, 11 from Rudy Gobert, and 13 rebounds and 3 blocks per game. So we all know this team can do that in real life, make it to the playoffs no matter what, high seed, whatever. But can this team make it all the way to the finals or Western Conference Finals is the question that's always been asked of Utah. So somebody come around against Phoenix, and let's see if we can beat them in the first round, as we are going to... Wow, I tried to stop that, and my B button just did not stop it. But wow, we lost in the first round. I tried to literally stop for a game 7, and I just wasn't fast enough, I guess. Okay, so first round exit again. That is not ideal at all, especially when we were up 3-1. That would actually be terrible. So in that regard, if that were to happen, Philadelphia goes on to win the championship, of course, like we always know they do. But if that were to happen, it'd have to be some serious changes in Utah. Really would be. I mean, you could talk about potentially Quinn Snyder potentially just being fired. I meant to turn these off. I guess I didn't turn rule changes off. But you could talk about Quinn Snyder potentially being fired. You could talk about potential trades that this team needs to do to get better. Just a lot that could be happening here. But there is an idea I have in the back of my mind that I think makes a lot of sense. And I think it could maybe make this team even better than they already are. Now, I do want to go ahead and hire a staff real quick. I'm not going to fire Quinn Snyder in the game just because head coaches in this game, there's not a lot of them, and usually, the real head coaches don't sign with you. So we are just going to go ahead and keep Quinn Snyder because he is a decent head coach, obviously, so we'll keep him. But everything else, we are going to try to make some trades in order to get this team where we need them to be, because that was just embarrassing. It would not be ideal for Utah, their Jazz fans, or anything for the franchise. So I'm looking at this roster, and I think we can make an upgrade somewhere. I'm looking at Mike Conley. I'm looking at Bojan, and these guys are veterans, obviously. Gobert would be a little bit harder to trade away. It'll be interesting to see if Gobert was like ever a guy that Utah would ever consider trading away, but it'd be pretty hard to move his contract. But Donovan Mitchell, of course, is staying. Jordan Clarkson's probably going to stay. Joe Ingles is interesting, Royce O'Neal, but there is some trades that we can make to try to make this team better than they already are. Now I'm talking about the Sacramento Kings for a second. I don't know if this would happen, but I think it's not crazy out of the realm of possibility. Looking at them right now, it says it's a seller's market in Sacramento right now. They're going to want to stockpile draft picks and prospects. So as we know, this Jazz team traded for Mike Conley a while back, and it's been okay for them, but it hasn't led anywhere. So if we moved Mike Conley, which he has a team option, I think, on the other, yes, he does. So it's basically non-guaranteed money on the second year. So basically he's an expiring contract. So what we could do is we could try to grab De'Aaron Fox from the Sacramento Kings. Now, obviously, this is going to require a lot of capital as far as draft picks or whatever. So Mike Conley, Udoka Azubuike, and then maybe Jared Butler. Few young pieces. I don't know how many draft picks we can trade away. Okay, never mind. We have no draft picks we can trade away. So this is probably not going to happen. I thought we would be able to trade like a couple first, but we're not going to be able to do that. So obviously they're not going to accept this. Even if they would, that'd be dumb. Okay, so I thought we were going to have some draft picks to trade away. Unfortunately, we do not. So we're going to have to try a different route. But De'Aaron Fox was a guy I was considering, but I don't think it's going to be able to happen the way I wanted it to. So I think I'm going to do this trade with the Orlando Magic. Now, let me explain things real quick before you're like, why the hell would the Magic do this? Okay, so the reason my thought process is Magic, Jonathan Isaac hasn't been really still healthy for the Magic, and maybe they're a little bit concerned about that. So they'd potentially be ready to move on from him. He's locked into a 3-year deal, so that way the Magic can worry about, getting off his money. And Bojan Bogdanovic is an expiring contract, so they wouldn't have to worry about him. They could just buy him out or whatever, and they basically get rid of Jonathan Isaac's money. Now, you could say the Magic don't really need money because they're rebuilding or whatever, but they do have some contracts expiring, and they're going to have to, pay guys on restricted contracts and make big decisions coming soon with all the guards. So I thought this isn't totally out of the realm of possibility. We could even sweeten the pot a little bit and maybe give them like Jared Butler or something like that, just to make them feel a little bit better. And boom, just like that, we brought in Jonathan Isaac, who is going to be a younger power forward, pretty much more on Donovan Mitchell's timeline. Mike Conley, on the other hand, is a little bit harder to trade away. Now, the funny thing is, when you throw Mike, well, I guess I traded Bojan, so it may not pop up again. It did. Okay, we could get Ben Simmons, obviously. That would be funny. You could have Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell, who used to beef over the Rookie of the Year, teaming up together. But let's be honest, why would Philadelphia want a 34-year-old Mike Conley? They are already wanting Damian Lillard and whatever else they've been asking for. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander apparently too. So yeah, this isn't going to happen. We're going to have to wait and wait for some draft picks that we can trade away in order to find a way to get rid of Mike Conley or to try to upgrade the point guard. I don't really necessarily want to get rid of Mike Conley. I want to upgrade the position. So we got Marcus Bagley out of the draft class, which isn't too bad as well at the second round. And then qualifying offers, we have Elijah Hughes, Eric Paschall, Oni, Trent Forrest. We'll go ahead and offer all of our restricted free agents a contract. And then for a moratorium or for free agency, Joe Ingles, an expiring contract. Paschall, I'll probably bring back. Joe Ingles is 34 years old and is no doubt going to go down in overall. So honestly, I don't really want to re-sign him. We just drafted Marcus Bagley. You have Jonathan Isaac, Royce O'Neal now, and Rudy Gobert, obviously. And then I think what we can do is move Royce O'Neal to small forward, and he's going to be a 7-9 overall. So it'll probably be our 3-and-D small forward. And then Jonathan Isaac, of course, is going to be a nice defender as well next to Rudy Gobert. So the defense definitely has upgraded a little bit, which is nice. We have Donovan Mitchell, Jordan Clarkson, as we know. Marcus Bagley, I don't mind necessarily starting next to or backing up Royce O'Neal, so that's fine. And then I guess we could need like a backup point guard, backup big man. So Eric Paschall is probably going to be the backup big man. But as far as like a backup point guard maybe that we could bring in, we could sign Kevin Porter Jr. to a $3 million contract. That's actually low-key a steal. This doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I don't know why he's only expected that little amount. How much did he average for Houston? 13 points per game, 37%. He only wants $3 million. That's a steal. He's 22 years old. Oh, they released him? I'll sign him, bro. I'm definitely going to sign him for that. I will definitely take KPJ. Obviously, that is something that probably wouldn't happen, but hey, in 2K, it's happening. So for $3 million, that sounds crazy. I mean, I would imagine Houston's going to extend him, but the fact he got released like that is kind of crazy. But I'm more than happy You know, things like that don't come often. So I'm more than happy to go ahead and take a gamble on that. And then everything else, we're really just essentially waiting for Pascal, which, you know what? I think I'm just going to sign him real quick. We'll sign him to like a 3-year deal to be our backup power forward for the future. So Eric Pascal, welcome in. And then going to player progression, we got Donovan Mitchell or Mike Conley going down. Only 1. That's not too bad. I thought he was going to go down like 3 overall, but he only went down 1. Rudy Gobert went down 1 overall. And then Kevin Porter Jr. went up 4 overall. So that is actually kind of huge. So now the only other thing I want to try is to see if I can make one more trade before we go into this next season. So there really wasn't a trade, obviously, that we can make to upgrade Mike Conley's position. But you know what? He's still an 84 overall, which is pretty solid, especially for his age. So Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Royce O'Neal, Jonathan Isaac, Rudy Gobert, Kevin Porter Jr., Jordan Clarkson, Marcus Bagley, Eric Pascal. So, I mean, this team is solid again. Again, I just don't know if it's good enough to go on and win the championship. But we could have a 4-star defensive system. We have a lot of good defenders in here, so that's always nice to have. But perimeter centric is probably where I'm going to keep it at. We're going to go ahead and simulate to the end of the season, potentially stop at the trade deadline. Potentially, we'll see if I can make some kind of trade, but if not, we'll simulate to the end of season number 2. So I really tried to do this in the last video. I tried to get Dejounte Murray several times in the Wizards video, but can I grab him in the Jazz video? So Dejounte Murray for Mike Conley, Udoka Azubuike, KPJ, and a 27 unprotected first-round pick. Will they accept this? They do. Just like that, we get Dejounte Murray. We gave up a little bit of our core, but now when you look at this team, look at it. Look at it. Dejounte Murray, Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt. Defensively, this starting 5 is kind of insane. It kind of is insane. We did give up a little bit of our bench. Kevin Porter Jr. was having a really good year for us, but we weren't going to be able to keep him. That's kind of why I traded him away. Dejounte Murray, Donovan Mitchell, Royce O'Neal, Jonathan Isaac, Gobert, Clarkson as a 6th man still, Zach Collins, Marcus Bagley, and Eric Pascal. So, I mean, really, we only need to upgrade the center spot or just the bench. But overall, we have our starting 5 of the future. We really do. Royce O'Neal, Isaac, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Dejounte Murray. If we can't finish good this season, that's fine. Actually, you know what? Can we go into free agency and see if like we can sign someone real quick? I don't know if it's going to be possible. But right now, could we get like Kendrick Nunn in free agency? No, we couldn't. Okay. 10-day contract. Not interested. I didn't know you could sign 10-day contracts low key. Is there anyone who's out here, you know, that might be willing to take a little bit of a contract? We can get Freedom. It's so weird seeing that his name is Freedom. Okay, we're not gonna be able to get anybody. Huntley Hatfield's already in free agency. That's kind of wild, low key. Okay, nothing I'm gonna be able to snag really, unfortunately. There's just not enough, unless if there's someone up here. Yeah, it's just not gonna happen. Okay, well, it's fine. We'll go ahead and roll with what we got. So now we have Dejounte Murray and Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt. Let's see if that's the upgrade we needed to get this team to a championship contender. So once again, we finish up as the 3rd seed in the West. Ja Morant's your MVP. Holmgren's your Rookie of the Year. J.D. Davison, 6th man. Giannis Defensive Player. Wiseman most improved. And Taylor Jenkins is your Coach of the Year. Here's your NBA first team. Ja, Steph, LeBron, Giannis, Jokic. All rookie first team. Didn't mean to skip all the way to that. All NBA second team. All NBA third team. And honestly, I would not be surprised, all defensive team Rudy Gobert, if we had Marcus Bagley make an all-rookie second team. And he did not. Okay, so no Marcus Bagley. Would have been really cool to see him, but unfortunately, not going to happen. But we are in the playoffs as the 3rd seed once again, going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves this year. As long as we don't get eliminated in the first round, we are not going to have Dejounte Murray for a little bit of the first round, which is unfortunate, but he should be back soon. Jordan Clarkson was 17. We had 14 from Gobert, 10 from Marcus Bagley, Isaac with 8, and then 6 from Pascal, 5, and then 3. Okay. Royce O'Neal, man, what the hell are you doing down here? 3 points? You're the starting 3-and-D wing. I mean, shooting 33% from 3, that is not going to do it. Not gonna be it. All right, well, I guess we'll have to see if we can beat Utah here. I think Dejounte Murray is back and healthy. He is. All right. Can we please beat Minnesota? Somebody occur around, and we are going to lose in 6. Damn. We are just getting eliminated year after year in the first round. Not ideal at all. Well, we have one more offseason to correct our wrongs. So, Garland and the Cavaliers going to win the championship. Well, this is a big offseason. This is the biggest offseason of the video for sure. And the fact that we've made it to the finals, or not to the finals, to the playoffs as a high seed twice, and have been lost like that twice is not a good look. So we have a lot to try to take care of this offseason. We cannot go into this next season. Again, not going to fire Quinn Snyder even after all that. Honestly, in real life, though, if that were to happen, there would be a conversation about it, I would imagine. So we'll sign Franklin to be our post defensive coach. And then draft night, I don't even believe we have a draft pick, so it's not going to really matter. We have a we do. We have a 25th pick in the draft. Okay. It's probably not going to let me trade it either. Yeah, it's not going to let me trade it. So we're probably just better off drafting whoever we can get at number 25, maybe a potential bench piece. Who knows? So number 25, we are going to be grabbing. We can grab a center and Johan Trehor. I definitely said that name wrong, probably, but a 74 overall coming in. Player options, Royce O'Neal we're going to accept, and we're going to accept Zach Collins as well. Clarkson accepts his player option, which is nice. And then Trent Forrest and Oni are both free agents. All right. For free agency, I don't think we have any important free agents. We don't. So we basically have the lineup. We have Dejounte Murray in the backcourt with Donovan Mitchell and Jordan Clarkson backing him up. We have Royce O'Neal and Marcus Bagley, which I do like. And we have Zach Collins, Jonathan Isaac, and Eric Paschall, and Rudy Gobert, and then, of course, Johan. So basically the only thing, so free agency, we can get like Kelly Olynyk, Marquise Chris, Ennis Freedom if we wanted, Thaddeus Young. I'm going to go ahead and sign Kelly Olynyk to a 2-year deal to be the backup center. We'll have Kelly Olynyk. He can come in and definitely be, great at times. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and sign or trade away Zach Collins. Now, I don't really know what to expect to get for him, but he is on a 1-year deal. I wouldn't mind like a backup point guard. I see Ricky Rubio popping up. Did used to play for Utah, so could be an interesting get. Yeah, why not? We'll bring in Ricky Rubio. We do have to give him a 2nd-round pick, but Ricky Rubio, welcome to Utah. Probably going to go down in overall. But basically, this is it, boys. This is what we're relying on. We got a full lineup with a better bench. Player progression. It's going to treat us decently well, I believe. Rudy Gobert going down 1. Jordan Clarkson went down 1. Ricky Rubio, Kelly Olynyk. Everyone's going down, but it's better than the bench we had last year. Bagley's up to a 77, so that's big. And Royce O'Neal. And Bagley might potentially start this year. So, yeah, this is going to be the core going into next year. Can this team go on to win it all? This is as good as it's going to get. That is the question we have at hand. We got to go ahead and go on and win this championship this year. So we're going to have a great regular season like we always do. But can we win the big one is the question. Dejounte Murray, Mitchell, Royce O'Neal, Isaac, Gobert, Clarkson, Bagley, Ricky Rubio, and Kelly Olynyk. Like I said, the bench, a lot better than last year. Proficiency, 4-star perimeter centric. Maybe we move this. Maybe we move it to a balance. Defensively, we're a 4-star. We can move this to a balance system and see if that changes anything. And we'll go ahead and submit this 3rd year. Pretty much same core, same head coach. This time, man, we cannot go in the 1st round. We can't afford it. Where we've been, the 3rd seed. Does that mean anything? Zion wins MVP. Victor Wembanyama wins Rookie of the Year. Ty Washington, 6th man. Defense player goes to Giannis. Ty Washington, most improved as well. And Doc Rivers is your coach of the year. If anything, I want out of the 1st round for this team. The Western Conference Finals would feel great for this team. It would. We get to play the Thunder. If we lose again in the 1st round, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do. This team is cursed, and that's all there is to it. We are playing a very, very good Thunder team. I would not be surprised at all. Somebody come around, and we are going to... Okay, I'm nervous. We're going to go ahead and string this to an 8-man rotation. We were up 2-0, but now we're in a position where we really can't afford to lose Game 5, because Oklahoma City is a team you just can't lose Game 5 to. You cannot go down 3-2 to this team in this simulation. 2K loves them. Obviously, all the draft picks just makes them really good. This game is going well so far, but that could change in a drop of a dime. But we do beat them 100-117. Donovan Mitchell, can we beat them in 6 games? Yes, we can. We're on to the 2nd round. Thank 2K. Thank the 2K gods, because we finally got out of the 1st round. Now we get to play the Warriors, though. A team that Utah has played a couple times before in the past. Now, I don't feel as intimidated to this Warriors team as I was intimidated to that Thunder team, to be honest with you. I think we have a better chance of beating this Warriors team. Somebody come around. We are playing Stephen Curry, though, so don't get me wrong. Somebody come around, and we are going to beat them in 5, and we're in the Western Conference Finals. Let's go. Now we get to play the Memphis Grizzlies. So Memphis, they have John Morant, D'Anthony Melton, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, Tillman, Kevin Love, Benedict Mathurin, and then Adam Bonia, and Dyson Daniels, Drew Time, and Prince Alge. I don't know, man. I probably botched all those last names I just read. Whatever. Somebody come around against Memphis. Can we get to the NBA Finals? It's an even series. Can we go up 3-2? No, we're down 3-2. Okay. Got a Simcat. Jonathan Isaac is injured, but they're going to play him anyway. That's usually how it goes. What is his injury? Let's go take a look. It is a back spasm, but hey, let's play him anyway, right? All right. Well, Ricky Rubio's injured as well. Well, okay, you're not going to let me fix the rotation. That's just usually how it goes. All right. Here we go, baby. Come on. Can we beat Memphis and force a game 7? Doesn't look good so far, boys. This might be all she wrote for us. The injuries have plagued us. 93 to 113 with 3 minutes left. Hey, you know what? At least we got to this team to the West Conference Finals. I feel decent about that. And then we got the Grizzlies. We lost to the team that went on to win the championship. The Memphis Grizzlies go on to win the championship. Ja Morant is your finals MVP, and that's it. So this was the final team that we put together. Gobert, Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, or Gobert, Mitchell, Dejounte Murray is what I meant to say. Jonathan Isaac, Royce O'Neal, Clarkson. This team wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was an overall decent rebuild. Honestly, this Utah Jazz team, time is running out. You can have a good regular season all you want, but losing in the first or second round is just not ideal when you have that good of a regular season. But that's it for me, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. But for now, it's Crushables saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.